So there's a new drama coming out starring Tobin Bell and Jason Mack. It's going to be in theaters for one night on June 17th via a Fathom event. Is it any good? Stick around to find out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a father's legacy. So before we get started, my name is Anthony A. Perez, and if you're new here to the channel, you guys can expect movie reviews, TV reviews, and all kinds of other videos related to movies. We have a lot of fun here on this channel, and if you're interested in sticking around to check out some more of the content I have here on this channel, I highly recommend hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, and getting your fingers ready to comment along with everybody else in this video. And in today's video, like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about a brand new film coming out called A Father's Legacy. I got to check it out just a little bit early, and I'm super grateful to the person Lori who sent me a screener for this film. Really interested in it right out of the gate simply because I really love Tobin Bell. Anybody who's been following my channel at least for the last few months, or I guess for at least the last year, you'd know that I recently just went through all of the Saw films, which was a lot of fun to go and revisit majority of them and see some of them for the very first time. And yeah, the other night when I went to go see A Quiet Place 2 and Cruella, this trailer also played, the trailer for Father's Legacy, talking about the Fathom event for one night. So it felt really cool to know I had the screener and then I had already seen the movie when I saw that trailer playing in the theaters. So like I mentioned, June 17th, it'll be available in theaters for one night only via a Fathom event. And I'll go ahead and start this off by saying that I do recommend getting your tickets to check it out. Now, I am going to get into my thoughts on this movie with no spoilers, but you know, I will say I recommend the movie overall, but I can understand that this movie is not going to work or be for everybody. So A Father's Legacy tells the story of a man who breaks into an old man's house who is on the run. He's made a very bad decision. He's essentially the dumbest criminal I've ever seen in a film and is trying to lay low at this man's house as he runs from the police after, you know, kind of getting through this criminal act that he's just done. And the old man in this film is played by Tobin Bell, and the other actor who plays the criminal who's coming to this man's home is Jason Mack. And yeah, what I'll say right out of the gate is that the way we get there, the way we get to this situation, and a lot of the things that happen during this situation are just incredibly unrealistic. I think at the end of the day, if anybody came into our home with a gun, no matter what the circumstances were, even if we saw this person to be a troubled individual, we likely would call the police or find any opportunity we could to attack this person and possibly kill this person. But this is an incredibly hopeful film that has a Christian message throughout, but also just a solid message that I think even those who are not religious can definitely connect to. And if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know that I used to be part of the Christian world, and it's just not something I really tie myself to much anymore, but I still enjoy plenty of Christian films, and whenever I can see a good Christian message in some of these movies, it's definitely something I can at least still connect to in some way, shape, or form, even if I'm not really a Christian myself anymore. But yeah, right out of the gate, when I heard that premise, or I at least saw the basic premise online and through the trailer, and saw that Tobin Bell was attached, I was pretty interested. You know, you got the guy who's absolutely famous for playing Jigsaw in this movie that's really about redemption and the power of having a father figure in your life. What I really enjoy about this film is through Tobin Bell's character and Jason Mack's character, we got to see two different experiences that they've had when it comes to their fathers, and also kind of two different experiences on how they handled being a father. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into the overall little moments that happen in this film because I don't want to spoil anything, but what I will say is the basic gist of the story is two guys who meet each other in a really extreme circumstance, but ultimately start to find things that they relate on and start to grow closer even on the things they don't relate on. This is a movie about redemption. This is a movie about second chances, and a movie really about the power of a father figure in somebody's life. Again, this isn't a movie that I think is going to work for everybody, especially depending on your upbringing, your background. I think that this movie is going to be very dependent on the individual. But I think this is something that a lot of people are going to cling to, and definitely something that has a really good message of really, again, or second chances and redemption, and again, the importance of having that father figure in your life. I really enjoyed the performances in this film. Jason Mack is a little over the top sometimes, and you know, he was the one that I was definitely not really familiar with. I saw that he was in Vampire Diaries, which is a show I'm I'm kind of familiar with, but I haven't really watched. And Tobin Bell was really the thing that pulled me in the most. Here we are with this incredible actor who is phenomenal in the Saw films, and throughout the course of this film, he kind of plays it very similarly to the way he plays Jigsaw, you know, very similar to a lot of other Tobin Bell performances. He's got that great gravitas to his performance, and he has a lot of grit to his voice, but he's really funny in this movie. I thoroughly enjoyed the relationship between him and Jason Mack that grows throughout the course of the film. Now, without a doubt, what I can say is that a lot of it does feel rushed, and there's a really big event that happens in the later half of the film that just kind of felt like it came out of nowhere, and it just feels kind of cheap. There's emotional moments that are really heavy on the characters, but the movie takes place in such a short period of time that I couldn't help but feel like it wasn't fully earned. Did it take away from those moments 100%? No, but I can say that there were elements about the movie while watching it that just kind of took me out of it just a little bit and just did not feel earned while I was watching it. But beyond that, I found it to be a well-acted film that for the most part is directed well and shot well. However, I will say there were some shots in the film that I feel almost stylistically were chosen to have like a little bit of oversaturation or contrast in certain shots. Sometimes it was, you know, kind of like just a cool look, and sometimes it just kind of felt like they had the contrast and the saturation like pulled up to like 11, you know? So yeah, it didn't ruin anything for me, but there was just a couple moments where I was looking at the screen and it kind of felt like there was multiple filters on the screen, maybe a little bit too many, that kind of just made things look a little bit grimy. But overall, I really enjoyed the look and feel of this film. I enjoyed the music throughout. I enjoyed the tone of the film. It's a very slow film. It's very much not a boring film for me, but a film that's very much about the dialogue, about the small moments, about the subtleties of the way the score is used in the film. But, you know, at the same time, in a lot of ways, some people may watch this film and find it to be a little bit generic. This is a movie that I think could definitely go under the rug, and a lot of people would probably just kind of miss it and never check it out. And so that's why I say, if you're interested in checking out something that is going to have a one-night Fathom event, I think this is a movie that's worth watching. It's definitely got a good message in it, and there's definitely a lot of things you can connect to, and it's got good performances. However, I have to say that a lot about the story is definitely rushed, and the circumstance is so extreme that these two would end up connecting that sometimes it's just a little bit cheesy, and it doesn't really seem all that plausible. There were a lot of elements, again, that I really thoroughly enjoyed about this film, but yeah, I couldn't get past the fact that there were elements about the film that felt rushed, and by the end of the movie, I wished I cared about more of these scenes than I actually did, but throughout the watch, I was entertained, I wasn't bored, and I genuinely had a good time. So, that's going to be my quick thoughts, no spoilers, on A Father's Legacy, starring Tobin Bell, and also, I should also mention that not only does it star Jason Mack, he also is the writer and the director, so, you know, good on him for, you know, writing and directing this film. I think there were some things as far as editing and some certain elements of the film that could have been cut out completely, but overall, I think he did a pretty solid job. He's got a pretty short list of things that he's directed, so, you know, I can't really blame the guy for, you know, having some missteps here and there, but for the most part, I think that he directed a pretty solid film. A big thanks to all of you guys for watching. Definitely hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe if you guys are interested in sticking around, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, this movie comes out on June 17th in theaters, one night only, Fathom event. Check it out. I think it's worth a watch. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.